Welcome everyone. Today we'll have a Tower of Fantasy guide for the Gatcha. And today we'll be looking into some additional information that is revealed in the game. So what I'll show you is, firstly, we'll have a look at the probability announcement, and there was adjustment of one of the errors in the Gatcha tables that was adjusted. We'll talk about the duplicates that will be giving black gold. After that, I have some additional notes about the SSR, pity, and also rates. So what we're looking at is, we're looking at the carrying on of the pity from the last banner to this banner. So last banner I was at 34 out of 80, and this also carries on. Now you might think this is not a big deal, so what the focus on this is, this particular carry on will help you have a higher consolidated rate. I have done some basic calculations, and here I actually made a small Excel to help you guys calculate. So depending on the number of pity on your banner, which I'll explain very soon, you will have a higher consolidated rate. Now if we come over here to the more information, notice the consolidated rate of 2% is over here, but currently at 34 of my pity, I will be looking at a 2.9% consolidated rate with 1.5% of getting freak. What I do is I'll teach you guys the Excel so you can use this pretty quickly. So if you're on 10, if you're on 15, you can enter the numbers in Excel, and this will give you the proper rate of your consolidated rate. So I did decide to make this and also update our latest notes on the Gatcha guide for Tower of Fantasy. So I'll go through those with you guys, and also to explain some of the things we talked about last video as well. So what are my recommendations and how should we be summoning depending on how many of the copies of the limited SSR you wanted. So this is quite interesting. I'll talk to you guys at the end of the video. So if you want only one copy, you should do it in a way, and if you want multiple copies, there's another way to do this. So it's really up to how we use the red orbs, and to help you guys understand the rates and also to understand what you're looking at and how much you want to save. Now, if you guys haven't seen our previous video, I definitely recommend having a look, because there we're talking about the new pity rate, which combines all the rates. So the rates were coming from this Reddit post for AccidentalVtuberSimp, and what I'll do is I'll still go through those rates briefly over here as explanation. So the first thing we'll do on this video is we'll come over to the Tower of Fantasy notes over here. As you guys might have noticed, there was a probability announcement on the 31st of August. And after having a look thoroughly, I realized nothing was changed on this probability announcement except the correction over here. In case you guys wondering what the correction means is, in the game, I think this still is wrong at the moment. So if you come to the standard banner for the golden summons, or if you come to the purple summons, what you're going to see is the writing over here shows that any duplicate of SR and also SSR here will give you flame gold. But this is wrong, because they will actually be giving us black gold, which is not the limited item, right? So notice here, this also says flame gold. Those are the incorrect descriptions. The latest updated information that was announced says any duplicated on the standard banner, let's say black gold, or the golden Oculus banner, those duplicates will give you black gold. And those were the adjustments of the announcement. It was quite hidden, so in case you guys were wondering what this announcement is about, I read through pretty much all of them, and I think this was the highlight. Of course, he also updated the Freaks banner, which we'll now have a look. So, coming over to the Freaks banner, our focus over here is going to be on the pity to 80 for Freaks. Now, before this banner, I was rolling on Nemesis, and I was able to get 120 of the flame gold at about 100 and... how much was that? So I summoned quite a bit on the Freaks banner, and eventually I had 34 pity left out of 80, and this was carried over onto this banner. So what that really means is, now if I only have to summon 46 times to have a 50-50 chance of getting Freak. Now, you might not see this as a big deal, but if I save this again for the future banner, this will also give me increased rate of the future banner. Let's say if we get Ruby, if we get Saki, if we get Ling, those will also carry forward. So this is quite a critical information that I want to be updating for the Gatcha guides for Tower of Fantasy, right? So coming to our notes over here, I do have the notes available for you guys if you want to have a look. So those were the previous notes of the previous video. This is the updated notes that's following from this video. Now let's say on the limited banner currently you're 0 out of 80. So here I'm 34 out of 80. So let's say if you're 0 out of 80, the consolidated rate that is given over here says 0.75% per summon and up to 2% overall guarantee rate. So they're doing average rate. Just so you guys can understand what does that mean is, the higher, the higher towards pity, the higher my consolidated rate will be. So what that means is currently I'm at 34 out of 80, and if once I get to 80 out of 80, I have a 50% chance of getting freak. In order to give you guys more information, so I did a small calculation. This is what they use to calculate the banner probabilities to get 2%. So 79 of the summons will be 0.75, and the last summon will be 100%, which gives us 160%. So this is 2%. And here with my own rates of 34 PT to go, I have those calculations. So this is not going to be a math lesson. So what I do is I'll give you guys Excel. I made a quick dynamic Excel to help you guys calculate. This is what I mean, see your own hidden rates or see your own consolidated rate. So if we come over here, I decide to make one for the golden banner too. My golden banner is currently 0. If my golden banner is 0, so I put 0 over here, those are my values. I need 80 to PT and I'm at consolidated rate of 2%. Let's say if I'm on 50 on my golden banner, you can see the rates will change. And this is after 30 summons. This is the consolidated rate for those 30 summons. Now, what's interesting is if we come to the limited banner, because I think most of us will have some remaining on the limited banner. So if you see 34 over here, if you type 34 over here, you'll see those rates. If you're 70 to 80, you type over here, the next 10 summons, the average rate of SSR is actually close to 10%. This does use a consolidated rate, and this only happens once you summon the last 10 summons. So keep that in mind. Now, if you want to use Excel, come over here and go to make a copy. So go to files, make a copy to use this Excel for yourself. Currently, the Excel is set into my own settings, which is 34 over here and also 0. So the 0 is over here and the 34 is over here. And this is something I want to make for you guys so you get more tools for the game and also understand your own rates. So over here you can see the notes basically saying is we take into consideration of the current banner PT count, and this will give us more consolidated rate to understand for each of our own account. So I thought this was quite useful, so I share this too with you guys because I was making it to understand this, because I was quite happy that this carries over. I was a little worried this doesn't carry over and this starts at 0 again, right? So it's good that this carries over, but we get more information with this Excel. Now, I do want to give you guys a summarized information of the tips for the guide in case you guys see a lot of notes. So here we have a summarized information of all my tips and also advices for summoning for Tower Fantasy. So if you haven't seen this video, this is where we started. Definitely have a look though, I explain a lot. So with the updated writing over here, we still want to summon on the black and also golden orbs or the Moculus banner to ensure we get all 6 of these, the purple SR weapon dupes. So get all your purple weapon to 6 dupes core. After that, every pull you get on the dupes on the red banner, which is the limited banner, you'll be getting a flame gold. And this is the most important part. So do come over to this video if you don't understand this. The second tips we have is we will be using the PT counter table over here from our friend AccidentalVtuberSimp. We'll be using this PT counter table to see how many red Moculus we want to save for a higher rate boost. Now you may be wondering, so this is one of the tables we talked about last video. You're saying is, hey, I'm at 110 summons, why isn't my rate going up? This table also considers at 110 summons, you'll have 120 flame gold, and you will be buying 1 copy of the limited banner character. So last banner was, Nemesis, this banner was Freak. So this table considers that you actually buy 1 copy of character, and this is one of the rate boosts. So this table will actually, realize all the potentials you can do in the game. It considers you buying the character from the limited shop. So keep that in mind. This is how it helps you to save, because you can see at 160, you could be getting more potential of characters. And basically what this is saying is, it says if you summon 110 times on the Freaks banner, you get about 120 flame gold. And using this flame gold, if you buy a Freak over here, this is how you will have higher chances of getting 2 copies of her. You might think, hey, I don't need this kind of table to tell me I'll do that anyways, right? But it's good to plan for future banners. Let's say if you're planning for a future banner and you have 160, you can see that you have a greater chance of getting your next weapon, limited item, to 2-star if you save up to 160. So this table just gives you a general guidance of how much if you have saved for the red summons and what are your rates of getting multiples of those. And finally, what I have down over here is today's additional information, is that we know that the pity carries over. So I'm at 34 to 80, and what that means is if I summon 46 times, I will get a guaranteed SSR with a 50% chance of the limited banner item, which is going to be Freak. If I summon 80 times, I will get another chance of this. So if I summon about 126 times, I will get 2 of the guaranteed SSRs. So I have 2 times chance of 50% of getting Freak. And this will also give me about 135 to 140 flame gold. So those are the information we want to consider. Now the final piece I want to share with you guys is we can approach the game differently if you just want one copy of a character. Let's say over here you just want a copy of Freak because she will be your resonance for the ice, for the frost team, right? So if you just want one copy of the character, the goal is to aim for the 80-80 first. So here I'll be going for 64 summons. After that, I'll only go to 80 summons if I don't get her. And this Excel will be quite helpful to help you determine your consolidated rates once you summon the rest remaining pity rate. So here at 36 or 34, I'll try to summon for 46 with a total rate of 2.9 per pool consolidated, so the average rate. And what if you want to get multiple copies of one character on one banner? So what you want to do is you want to clear your first pity. So here my pity is 34, right? So we still use this Excel to clear the first pity, so I summon 46 times. Once I summon 46 times, the pity counter was reset to 0 and also 80. And then I can come back over here to look at how many remaining red pools do I have to do a estimation of how many more copies of the items I can get. So we're combining this Excel first before you get to 0 out of 80, and after 0 out of 80 you can come back to this table to give you a general guidance of how many more duplicates you can get. And this will help you to plan along, because let's say if I only want the weapon after 2 stars, I don't want this, 2 stars no good, right? We want 3 stars. Let's say if I only want this weapon after 3 stars, and I know with those probabilities and also tables, I can't get the weapon to 3 star, because to get to 3 star with a higher chance, I need about 250 summons, but I can't. So I might save for the future banner. So this is more like helping you to plan ahead. Before you summon all your resources away, this will help you to predict if you can get the stars you wanted, right? Let's say if I can get it to 3 stars, then I will start summoning and get the item I wanted. So this is the most important part. It's not, having more red summons helps, but it's how you use those red summons. And hopefully this video will explain it better with more tools to share with you guys to plan ahead and also to see which of the design duplicates you want, whether it's 0 star or maybe 3 star or 6 star. Now, if you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe on our YouTube channel and for more content related to Tower of Fantasy. I'll be looking into more free-to-play content, and I've tried to look into minimum spending or no spending method to clear the game and also achieve the highest amount of free currencies and also free-to-play, characters and also weapons in the game.